Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gym Owners Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Stone. Over there is John.
I'm John.
Thanks. He's John.
That's me.
I'm not. So we were actually just talking about the nerding out on the subject of the client experience. And we were going over parallels with other industries. I have my car in the shop. And there's a lot of things that we do as business owners to try to craft like a high quality client experience or client journey, however you want to call it. What terms? Some use the term value ladder, some use, but I think in the fitness industry it's a little bit different. I'll kind of explain why. But I want to go on the side of not just being premium and not just the way that we fulfill it, but really specifically how you structure people's access points into your business. What's the first thing they can do when they come in, or what's the first thing they want to do when they come in, and how we then unravel our services and reveal our services to them as we get going, right? So for a lot of you guys, group fitness is a thing that is kind of the basis, the bread and butter of a lot of businesses, a lot of the functional fitness gyms. It's easy. We thought it was easy to scale, right? But so that's one entry point, right? There's no reason someone can't come in and do group, I don't think. But on the other side, there's plenty of potential clients out there that don't care or don't want to train in a group with other people. And I think that's reasonable, don't you think, John?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think that we get stuck trying to bring everybody into our group classes, and that's where you have trouble selling. Like some people may just not want to be tired in front of other people. Some people may not want to suck at something in front of other people. Some people just don't want to be around other people in their free time away. Everybody has a different environment that they're interested in taking this leap of faith into fitness or continuing their path on. So for some people, group isn't going to be your thing. So we've been doing some interesting stuff with some coaches that do one-on-one. And I want to address kind of like 3 potential access points for your business and how you can move people from one to the other and gradually give them a better, more evolved fitness experience and also make more money along the way, right? Go ahead.
One thing that I want to say just ahead of time, to almost like before you go into these specifics.
Yeah.
One thing that you and I do hear from folks all the time is I'm different. What I do in my business is different. I'm a garage gym, right? I'm only a garage gym, or I'm not a CrossFit gym, or I'm just a personal trainer. And so when we're talking about value ladders, customer experience, everything that you are about to lay out doesn't come from the fitness industry.
Correct.
Yeah. So this is why you talked about your car being in the shop and what a miserable fucking experience that is, dealing with people that are going to try and convince you that your car needs new blinker fluid, right? Yeah. You just know that they're fucking you. Well, that's your customer experience.
Yeah.
And I'm from Southern California. My parents worked for my mom worked for Disney for 20 years. So you realize, well, you're about to go into all these details and everything. Disney has really specific things that they're going to have as products.
Yeah.
But the customer experience is not tied to those specific products. It's tied to how they make you feel from the second that you drive onto their property.
Yeah.
All of those emotions, all those feelings, you can have the people that work in your business or your clients feel a very similar way.
Yeah.
And so that's why I want to make sure, just try and, as you're listening to what you're about to say as a listener, try and remove everything how you already know what Tyler's about to say is wrong, or somehow you're special, and somehow you're different.
Or your clients won't pay, or nobody will do this in your area, or people don't want it, or people only come to you for this, or, my market, people don't like this. Well, you guys are in a big market. We have coaches that aren't, and we have coaches that don't have brands, and we have gyms that don't. So let's get right into the nitty gritty here. And it's important what John just brought up, though, is the reason when you go to Disney that the overall client experience is incredible is because of the attention to detail and their delivery. And that is not what we're getting into today. What we're getting into today is, what parks are they going to? Are they going? Are we going to Disney thing? Are we going to California? Whatever the thing is, the ones that are across you. Each one has a different reason and a different purpose, and that's the stuff I want to lay out for you guys today. How you deliver that on a high ticket level, or on a premium level, or just in a good way, that's up to you. And that way you can still mold your coaching personality, your business's personality into this stuff, which is super important. So don't just start doing these things because we told you to. Think them out. Figure out how this works for you, your clients, maybe clients you don't have yet, but maybe you don't have because you don't offer them a different entry point, right? So one-on-one is a really good one outside of group. I think it's very valid. Obviously, personal training is it's expensive. People want to spend the money for it. They want to get the results. People are willing to pay for it. We see it time and time again. Now, it is an issue for scale for a coach or a gym owner because it's directly money for time if you have it set up as such. But I think it's important to know that you can have this sales flow, right? Where if somebody comes in and just does not want your group, then don't keep trying to shove them into your group or convince them that your group is for them. That's the big problem I see a lot of people doing. It's like, well, I don't really know. It seems like crazy. They're slamming bars around and other stuff. Yes, you can try to dismiss it, but simply offer them something. That's them telling you no, kind of. You can offer them a different product or a different path that works. One-on-one is a great one. If you'd like some more personal attention, we can do one-on-ones. The beauty is now, the way the sales sequence works is we'd have one-on-one trainers who do this, who don't offer full group, like catch-all group fitness. They do one-on-ones, and then they do semi-private, like custom groups. Like, hey, one-on-ones is you, and after a certain amount of time, if you don't want to continue paying whatever it's going to be, $2,000 every couple months, for this personal one-on-one coaching, and maybe some people don't want an endless relationship like that, which is the same way we feel with memberships. Find them an opportunity to move. Find them an opportunity to move lateral or bring friends in. And this has been a key thing that we found that has been really, really, really rewarding for a lot of coaches, is to let your clients move from one-on-one to a semi-private group if they want. If they're like, I'd really like to do it, it's a little expensive, or if you get told no to one-on-ones right away. The perfect send-off, if somebody tells you no because they can't afford it, give them a business card with the details of your custom semi-private program and be like, hey, you get a group of 2 or 3 friends together and it's all cheaper for each one of you. You guys can train together. It's a little more fun. By the way, if they're not feeling connected enough to you to pull the trigger on big time money one-on-one, bringing friends in buffers that relationship. And it does make them more interested in it. And everybody's got friends that they would rather bring into this thing than go out there alone, And so I think that is a very, very viable kind of sales sequence where you bring someone in, you talk to them about one-on-one. You're going to close the vast majority of them if you're using stacked offers anyways. But if someone says, I just can't afford it, or now's not the right time, make sure you inform them of this other product that you offer. And the reason is semi-private custom groups are the most profitable use of your time ever. It's more profitable than coaching general fitness on the floor with a group, because this one is a little bit more expensive. People still spend $30 a person with a group of 4 people. And that's a lot more money than what you're getting right now. And so I think that being like the client flow works really, really, really well, because that way someone who thought they wanted one-on-one can't do it, can pull the trigger and get a group of their friends. And the real benefit of this is, while you make more money per person for this per hour, the real benefit is you're still only selling the one person. And that one person will go out there and sell 3 other people for you. And that makes this really easy. All of a sudden you're pulling in $2,000-$3,000 per group. And you're like, well, geez, this is just all practically falling into place. Even renewals is very easy. You develop communications with these people on an individual basis, but renewals are pretty simple. Your alpha, if you will, is going to just tell you, all the ladies are in. I got 2 more that are coming in, or all the guys are in. I got 2 more. They keep bringing people and it keeps growing. And you allow these people to grow a very high dollar custom group, not your catch-all group, because that's low value. Right. A custom group is very, very, very high value. And it is that sequence, come in, maybe don't want one-on-one, can do this other group, can eventually evolve from semi-private custom group to one-on-ones, right? Yeah. It's very easy. A few people fall off. Some way may want more specificity. Some may not be able to get a whole group together for more than twice a week. So they may want to upsell a couple one-on-one sessions a week as well. It makes every single person that you're dealing with very, very profitable to work with.
The one thing that we're finding too is that we throw around a word a lot called accountability. And there's lots of different ways to do it well. The cool thing about this particular model of having an alpha is that having them go and find their friends and bring them to you is baking in accountability.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because when you're working with somebody that's one-on-one and it's brand new, it's a lot of feeling each other out, like early on. Are they going to show up? I got to send a reminder. Like, I don't want to have to reschedule or whatever it is. When you got 4 people that have all gone in together and they're like, no, we're going to meet on Tuesdays and Thursdays at this time or whatever, and they've come to an agreement as a group of friends, it's like, Bill, you better not fucking be a bitch and not show up on Thursday's workout. Like, I don't
Yeah.
care if you're like tired. And so now you immediately have that. So, and the enjoyment factor has got to be sky high
Yeah.
because you're
This is a
training
way
with
to
your
really,
friends.
and it really integrates fitness into their lifestyle in a much better way, because everybody
Yeah.
knows what it's like to be trying to get into fitness or eating healthy. Go to your job and bring a healthy meal and not eat slices of pizza or fast food in the lunchroom. And I promise you, you're going to know exactly what it's like out there. You know what I mean? Like it's tough when you're not around people who have the same priorities. It really is. Why are you eating that broccoli? What are you, stupid? Gross. You know what I mean? And but that's the same way people have with their friends. And when it's like that, when their friends aren't on board or they're not at least thinking like that, it can really sabotage their progress. And this is a great strategy for people that are new to fitness or getting back into fitness. This is a way
Mm-hmm.
to like really reignite the fire in them, because I'll tell you this, people that are new to fitness going to struggle to join your family in group. You know what I mean? That's a tough part that a lot of functional fitness gyms are selling. It's like, come join our community, come join our family. We're super close knit. It's awesome. And it's like, yeah, but I'm still me. And maybe I don't know that I fit into there. And
Yeah.
I want my results. Can we make it about me, please, and not you? And once we flip that around, these products and those entry points now make a ton of sense. So you get somebody in, they sign up one on one. They don't want to keep spending $1,000 a month. It's just not sustainable. Maybe that's something they can afford for a little bit to get momentum and get understanding, but eventually that's got to drop back. But they love you. They love working with you, and you've got them great results. Teasing them and showing them what they can do if they want to renew. You can offer on renewal. Like, if you want to get a group together, we could do this, or here's, we can just renew our old arrangement. Like, go through, have that conversation with them, because these people are talking about it. If you're good, they're talking about it at
Definitely.
work, they're talking about it with their friends. So it's a very easy selling. Say, hey, by the way, all of us can save money if we come in together in a group. Let's all train together twice a week. It'll be a blast. That flow is great. And by the way, if you have a full gym with group fitness, that's where these people can then end up comfortably, transit comfortably for them, profitably
Definitely.
for you, getting in, getting used to it, getting big results fast, and not like risking injury and all this other stuff, and organically ending up walking through that path of one-on-one custom semi-private group that they craft. And then they're bringing their 4 or 5 friends all the way over to your group membership, where it's the easiest to scale and they kind of know their stuff at this point. And that is really, really, really the customer journey that I really like. Now, we talked about this in the beginning as well. If someone cannot afford one-on-ones, which is like, which is the facts. Like, if you're charging enough for your one-on-ones, you should be talking to people every once in a while. They're going to have a hard time paying for it.
Sure.
It's just true, because your time is expensive. We'd love to just give away results, but you can't. And for those people, again, let them skip right over one-on-one and go right into custom semi-private, because the option, again, if you're only presenting them with one-on-one or group or like unguided group, is what? Yes or no, right? I can do one-on-ones or I cannot do business with
Right.
you. We're not really offering, okay, is budget your primary concern? And if budget is the issue, they can't do it. Well, here is at least a low budget option that still fits your comfort zone, which is bring in some comfort people. Bring in your comfort blanket. Bring in your best friend who
Right.
makes you laugh when you're uncomfortable. All those things are really important. And that now can get them into there and either get them fired up and results and move to one-on-one or back, or you have a whole bunch of people that'll stay there and get good results for a good budget or for a good price, and maybe eventually roll into your group classes. This selling group classes, selling a singular product on its own and just wondering why you can't keep stuffing people into that box, is the reason that your business isn't working for you.
Well, it's because the way I look at it too, from another angle, is you're not building empathy into your business.
You're not. You're removing
You're
it
not.
right away.
Yeah, it's just, you have to be respectful of the fact that any gym community, the tighter knit your tribe is, the more intimidating it is.
Yeah.
So if you're new, that's like going to fucking middle school all over again.
Yeah.
You're like, oh man, I'm the new kid and this sucks and I don't know anybody. Maybe you know someone, but they have all their gym friends and they're super fit. Oh, and they talk so much, and now you're a fucking loser because you're in the corner. Like, to bank on
So
somebody being able to walk into your tribe is banking on the fact that they're an extreme extrovert.
yes,
And
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 that
just
they
like you
are
said,
just already ready to like be like,
totally.
okay, this thing I'm maybe hoping I can get momentum. Like they have to really be putting themselves out there. We talked to a really, and we put this module in behind the in Gym Hacking University, a really great copywriter, Dr. Doug. And
Yes.
one of the things that he said when he was talking about how to communicate, and really not just communicating with copywriting, but really how you should position your offers, is there's this concept that says we buy things to feel better about ourselves, no matter what. If it's food, well, I want to feel better. I want to not be hungry. I want to enjoy eating dinner with my family. If it's a car, I want the drive to work to be dope. I want it to be comfortable. I want good stuff. I want heated seats. I want more than anything since I got heated seats, heated steering wheel. By the way, that
Sure.
is now that's the new standard, by the way, around here. But you bought people buying things to feel better about themselves. And in the fitness industry, you better believe it.
Yep.
That is what we're doing. And so when you understand that, you got to quit trying to get people to accept all of these. What's the word? Is it aversion? Um, People have points that they're resistant to about your group. I just don't
Yeah.
want to. I've seen the videos. It seems like a lot. I just maybe would want to work on me. And they say, no, fuck that concern of yours. Just do our group. It's great. It's
Hmm.
awesome. Well, that doesn't bridge a gap to them at all.
Yeah.
Even if you talk, obviously I intentionally like failed that that little explanation. But like even if you talk more compassionately and you're like, no, you know what, it's really great. We adapt things for everybody. It's cause it still doesn't actually address their concern. It doesn't. You're just glossing over it and saying the words, but it doesn't address their concern that like, man, I just don't want to have this vibe going on with a bunch of people around me. And
Hmm.
I'm telling you guys, this flows the perfect way. So someone comes in. This kind of touches on a subject that I've brought up in the university quite a bit, called offer threading, which where we've talked about making a stacked offer. Right? You take your regular group offer. You have thing A, add some value, add some value, add some value, add some value. Let people buy in their buying habits. Right? Well, we take that one step further by taking that across the business laterally through your product, meaning every product with every level of commitment should have an offer stack, which means now you can really, really, really optimize, meaning someone's not coming in getting sold group, one-on-one, or custom group, go fetch your friends. They're coming in going, okay, so group isn't really your thing. Well, I've got some options for you that might work. I have one-on-one. We have commitment levels down to 2 days a week for 8 weeks, 3 days a week for 8 weeks, 4 days a week for 8 weeks, or the same amount for 12. Obviously, more is going to be more expensive. Which ones of those, maybe fits? Because there's also schedule concerns.
Hmm.
People, maybe it's not just about budget. It's how many days a week do I got to go to this fucking place and spend an hour,
Yeah.
and like that is a part of the equation. They may have the money for all, but only the time for two, or whatever. Or they want to dip their toes in the water. Give yourself an opportunity to let their buying habits and what their wants guide you. And then you finish with a stacked offer. Twice a week for 8 weeks, you just want to get some momentum. Great, but we can do analytics, we can do nutrition. In that path, we can create this full, truly, what's the word, high level of service potential at the top, and they can choose a base offering in the bottom if that's what they want, but give people an opportunity to run up that ladder and to run towards success in whatever thing fits their bill. And now with these three options, I think you're in a really good place to catch. I don't know the numbers because we haven't run this through a whole bunch of people, you know what I'm saying, but I would be willing to bet that your being told no is almost going to completely go away in your sales stuff, or unless people are strictly price shopping is the only reason you'll get told no, because now you've got something for everybody.
Yeah. And the price shoppers, the most extreme version of them, they're just, that's Planet Fitness's business,
Yes, no
right?
matter what.
Ultimately, you're never going to capture them, but making sure as you've laid it out this way is you are covering all of your bases beyond just price, because I think it's really ignorant of us to think, oh, somebody doesn't want to work with us because it's too expensive, or you brought it up, time, right? My ability
Hmm.
to be away. the fact is, it doesn't matter if I wanted to join a program that had me 3, 4, 5 days a week. There's zero chance on this fucking planet that my wife is going to be okay with me being away from the house 4 hours a week, just dad time, leaving her
Yeah.
for dead with the kids. There's no way. But there's a huge emotional piece, which is people being unsure, people being embarrassed, people being scared. So many pieces to where I'd be game, but I don't know if this is for me yet. Like, I need to ease my way into this.
Hmm.
And by merely allowing there to be those 3 options that you gave and give those multiple outs, you're almost allowing the client that you're talking to get out of this conversation gracefully without saying, "Hey, I'm kind of a bitch about this, and I'm really scared of all the people in the room."
Hmm.
Now you don't have to have them say that.
Yeah.
Now they can say,
Here's a,
"Well,
and then
hey,
you get
this
them
thing
to the
over here
real
looks a lot
issue.
better."
Yeah. And you get them to the real issue. And the real issue is just like, man, every time I try this, it doesn't work. And I don't want to be like on the hook again in front of everybody. I just don't want,
Mhm.
I can be accountable to you because I trust, because you are the person, by the way, you're still selling. They need to like you, they need to trust you.
Right.
And so it's like, I can be accountable to you. I like you. I like some of these products. Now, there's another thing with this, John, is that like these people are effectively downselling themselves, kind of, but they're downselling themselves into something with which before it would cross the threshold into going to someone else's business because you only
Yep.
offer thing A or thing B, right? So they're
Definitely.
able to kind of downsell themselves again to a level commitment that works. That doesn't mean lowering your prices. It doesn't mean diminishing the value or making an ineffective product. We have a client who she's a personal trainer and she has sold since we switched to this kind of lateral offer threading type system. She has sold, I think, 4 people or 4 either groups, either group or individuals. So I think in each case, there's been 4 purchases that are made that are twice a week. Is all 2
Mhm.
times a week to start. And did you know that every single one of them not only renewed for 3 times a week at the end of their renewal, half of them added the 3rd session a week before they even finished the first 8 weeks. So get people in,
Mhm.
offer them the opportunity, all because by the way, then they know that they can do 3 times a week. And of course you want to close people into higher ticket items, but I'd rather close somebody into somewhere that lets me do a good damn job, do the best I can with what they're willing to start at. And then I've proven my value. And by the way, if you can't prove your value to your clients, you don't want them as your clients. You don't want
Yeah.
people around who you're consistently disappointing, whether it's on you or whether it's on them. If they're not making progress and they're not having fun and they're not feeling whatever it is that you're putting out there, then you gotta let them go, which means put it all out there. Say shit or get off the pot. Let's get analytics. I'm not getting you results. Maybe it's you, maybe it's me, but the relationship needs to end after that. The point is we give everybody this momentum towards success. They fall in like this little Plinko board, right? But they get to
Sure.
really choose where they end in at the bottom, and then they can march forward for how, with this level of commitment, they want to build their path forward. And that is great. So now 2 by 8, two times a week, 8 weeks. All right. But what about nutrition? And frankly, they could have got 3 times a week for less money than twice a week plus nutrition plus analytics plus something else plus
Sure.
another service. But they want the more value for less times a week, kind of. And so you just let them. By the way, this isn't hard. This isn't launching 5 new programs.
No.
This isn't anything else. This is just a way to present it. And I have some demos. If you guys want to see a demo of how this offer threading system works, I build it into iPad. I build it into PDFs, and we let people kind of can check it out and see. And it's a nice visual representation. It's super easy to make, but you just kind of break down everything the way I described it. So if you want to see what that demo is like, get into our community, the Facebook group. That's community.hackyourgym.com, and in there I'll see. We'll have it pinned up for a little bit at some point where you can check it out. But I highly recommend if you want to see an example of what we're talking about and how this works and how some of the numbers work for personal trainers, go check out the community for sure.
There's a really key word that you used. You went really fast because it's
Always
so
do.
built in.
Yeah.
So you better be quick. That the reason why you went fast is because it's so built into everything that we talk about, everything that's inside of Gym Hacking University. And it's tied very purposefully into our offer stack concept of every time we're talking about building an offer, it has to be time bound.
Mhm.
So this is, you use the word renewal. When they
Yep.
come up for renewal, then somebody was able to move to 3 days a week. No matter what you're doing inside your business, you have to have a start and end date.
Mhm.
The fitness industry has really soured us on this to a particular degree because of what? Beachbody abs in 30 days
Yeah.
or less for 30
Well,
minutes or
plus
less.
plus the inverse of that is your 24-hour fitness gyms that won't let you do anything for less than 12 months. Yeah, you can pay monthly, but you're
Mhm.
paying for 12 months. That is on purpose because they know you're going to quit in two. So we've been betrayed on both sides of this as consumers. And that's
Sure.
why it's important for us to say, you know what, 12 weeks, I'm going to get you what I said I'm going to get you, or we're going to get you as far as we get you. And then we're going to know who we are and what we're capable of collectively, each other. And then, like adults, in a capitalist economy, we're going to continue to choose to continue this relationship, or we're going to not. But that's how you need to do business, because otherwise, you can these relationships just run adrift, and people don't care. And people who don't care don't work that hard. They're not accountable. They, it's a poor representation of your business. And I think that there is. Go ahead, John.
No, say we talk about it all the time, which is end the endless relationship. And this is
Yeah,
where a lot of our bigger gyms that run the group, the large group format, when someone comes and signs up to join your gym, it's forever.
yeah,
Well, how long is this for? Why am I doing this? What was the purpose of me coming? Is this now just like, this is the club that I now belong to? Church used to be free, Tyler. I could go every
yeah,
Sunday. I'd have a community of people. We would do
yeah,
stuff together. And then maybe we'd do stuff on Wednesdays for $0. And I could save my soul.
yeah.
Now I'm paying $250 a month for what? Forever? And
Yeah.
that is one of the huge differences
And
of what you're
people
kind
will
of talking
say,
about.
coaches, and by the way, gymmers, you'll say this because you do a good job of community. By the way, I heard a great thing from one of the nutrition coaches that I was doing some outreach with, who she said the way she does nutrition coaching is very much in a group in the community, people in that gym, and then they do make sure they do Zoom calls to bring people on. And she had a very funny anecdote. She said, why do people stay in some of these gyms? And I said, well, are you trying to tell me about? Are we asking marketing, or are we asking what the truth is? Because if you're going to try and tell me community, I'm going to be furious. It's like, well, on the marketing side, no, community is a terrible attractor. It's actually a thing. But once they're
Yeah.
in, it is the community that keeps them. It
Okay.
is. It's a great retention tool, and that's important to note. By the way, you may have, if you look at your numbers, a lot of people when they come in, they stay for a long time, and that's very good. That is really good. Now, can we make sure that more people come in by not positioning your whole proposal in a way that is like going to weed out everybody except for the people who want to stay there forever? You know what I mean? We can get people who have more focused goals and want to spend more money for it. Please do business with those people.
Mhm.
You'll thank me later. I really, that's the main thing I can tell you. Do business with people who want to spend money and get results. Like, you'll thank me when that's the way you start doing business. If you're doing it the other way and you're just trying to push some stuff people maybe don't really even want just to get them moving, which by the way matters. People need to move. Habits need to change.
Mhm.
We do need to get people a little bit of momentum when they show up to our gym, however we can. But we cannot be continuing to shove everything towards this one product, especially when the things I've described for you. You know how much money you can make on the way to having somebody in your group now. If you close,
Mhm.
let's just do the math here, and I have some numbers for a couple of them. But if you close one-on-one, a mid-range group 3 times a week for 12 weeks with some basic add-on products, that's going to be about $2,500 per person. Let's say you close that in a renewal, that's 5 grand. Then you move that person into a group, and they pull their own group in, a custom group. It's going to be about $700-800 for 8 weeks per person. So that's 4 people. So you're looking at about another 3 grand you're getting essentially out of that client, right? So you're looking at almost $8,000, give or take $8,500 before you've even moved them into the open catch-all group. They may want to stay in this $1,500 a month for 3 sessions a week arrangement for a really, really, really long time after this too.
All right. So
Oh,
Tyler,
but if they convert then to group with these three
mhm,
or four people, the four people convert to group, now you have them on the hook for 200, that's $800 a month forever now. They've got the momentum, they've got the cohesiveness, all the habits are on point, they've got results. You made 8 or 10 grand, and now they're in the product when they want to be in that product. It's not that you did all this coercion to try to get them stuffed into this product that they didn't really want just so you could get $200 out of them. You're
right.
violating the whole sale paradigm by doing it that way.
So the other model is we get them in on group, they stay in group, and they're with you. Let's say, remember we had a client, we had him pull numbers for us when we first started working with them, and their average of all the clients that they had that were active clients at their gym, the average was just under 2 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
That they were with them.
Yep.
That's six. If, and they weren't charging this,
If they
if they
stay.
charged $250 per month for that group
Yeah.
membership for 2 years, that's 6 grand.
Yeah.
So
Almost
what you
half
just
of what you're going
described,
to get in the first 6 months by kind of letting them onboard. You don't have to force anybody to this path. I promise they'll choose it if you offer it. And
mhm,
so that's what you're really getting here is your first 6 months with somebody, which is your most important results wise. It's your most important when it comes to trust. First impressions, second impressions, third impressions. Do you want them to be with your one-on-ones and your premium stuff, or with hopefully the coach that is coaching your group class isn't your best coach? You know what I'm saying? Like no
well,
matter what,
shouldn't be.
like it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be you. Like you
No.
should be, this should be the premium stuff here, meaning you're able to establish this relationship with your best foot forward. Why the fuck are we doing it any other way? That's what bothers me a lot. Is yes, let everybody fall in, but those that don't, man, we really got to try harder. Because again, this math is for real. 12 weeks of 3 times a week, 12 weeks of 3 times a week with a renewal, and then they bring in a group of three other people. That's $8,500. That is 6 months total, give or take. Six and a half, 9 months, right? 30 weeks, whatever.
About
6 to 9 months, you can make about 8 grand off of that person. And you won't get it for 3 years if they stay. You won't get that much money off them for 3 years if you sell them into your group and you let it sit. And then, like, this is where the soft math has to become real math. You can't just do membership math. And you try to do membership math, people who are stuck doing membership math don't understand these paradigm shifts until we start dropping these numbers. And they have to start seeing this stuff. Every time someone's signing on the dotted line, it's for pert near $1,500 to $2,500, and it's not because we're charging a crazy amount per session. They're choosing added value.
But Tyler, all you're doing is saying that you need to charge people more money.
Yeah,
You're just raising your prices.
I wish, but
That's
remember
what we
and
hear.
we've talked. That's true, and we've talked about this in the past. And then let me reference this again. Is pin this down? Is your base offering, your group fitness, your base offering in every single step of the way. Your bare bones, whether it's group fitness only or whether it's 2 times a week, one-on-one for 8 weeks, whatever that is, that needs to be market competitive. It doesn't need to be the cheapest, doesn't need to be the most expensive, but it's got to be in the ballpark. Because that
Mhm.
way your price shoppers aren't going to run around and go, oh, these guys are just crooks, because you're not. Your base offering, they can make an apples to apples comparison for one-on-one coaching or group. They can really see it in your bottom tier base offering. What you're doing is just offering them a choice and offering them options further up that ladder. And the reason that it works is because people fucking want you to do that. Why do you think? Do you know how few base packages we sell? Uh, in
Oh,
in the
no.
semi-private group, some, but most of
Right.
them even just want analytics. They
Mhm,
want to get scanned every month and know what's going on. Like that fucking rules. That's just the easiest. And by the way, then you batch those people in. You
mhm.
get four people in at one time. It's $200 for 20 minutes. You guys got to start thinking, what can I do more for these people to make it what they want, and not the whole process where they just want to do nothing and get results, but what do they really want from a commitment standpoint? And now how can you give them success options based on that level of commitment?
Yeah, because we're playing the psychological game. And we've
Yeah.
given lots of examples over the episodes, and we dive way into it in Gym Hacking University. But it's psychologically, when people start with you, what else are they going to want to do when they're going to look outside of your business? What are they going to look for? if they're starting with you because they want to lose weight, they're going to want to start eating healthier. Maybe they're interested for the first time of like maybe looking at what their body fat percentage is.
Mm-hmm.
So are they going to figure out like where they need to measure, maybe buy the measuring tape on Amazon? Like how invested are they to those things? Are they going to start taking supplements?
Mm-hmm.
They might be doing all those things. You've given the example multiple times of when you started doing your kickboxing stuff at the MMA gym, how much money you dropped outside of the gym because the gym just didn't have
Mm-hmm.
the offer available for you.
By the way, I bought a used heavy tie bag today that I
Did
have
you
to go
really?
pick up from that gym. Yeah, I was like, God damn. Best part, I have nowhere to hang it. It's like, fuck, I gotta quit doing this impulsive shit. But that's what I'm saying, guys. Your customer, you know what I
Yes.
mean? Like there's always have opportunities for these people. And I guess that's the gist of this whole thing. I think if you understood everything we're laying out here in this, the main thing is if you can build a reasonable apples to apples stacked offer for your base offering, you can start to assess how you would do that for every little subcategory. Now, this is the thing we go into depth with, and we help clients build this custom out for them. And with what we do at Gym Hacking University is make sure that we can apply their own offer stacking skills and their own products as they develop them into this structure. But I want you guys to do this thought exercise. What would you do if I can only afford one session a week, or not afford one session, I can only get there one time a week. What would you offer? How would I still get some results if I'm new off the street? By the way, I may be able to look at this and go, you know what, it's just not enough fitness. Maybe there's a hybrid version for at home. What if you give me 2 hours of cardio and some basic body weight stuff and get to me to really correct my movement one day a week, and you really then put a focus on my nutrition? And maybe I'm willing to spend more than I would for twice a week because I have all this other accountability and outside the gym stuff taken care of. Because maybe I don't value the in the gym stuff as much as the next guy. Or maybe I know that it's not the gym stuff that's the reason I'm fat. It's my habits. It's everything. It's lack of accountability. It's my lack of understanding. I don't know how to read food labels. You know what I mean? There's all of this stuff that we can do.
Right.
And I think that guys, do that thought exercise with every product in your gym. Every person that comes in, what do they want? Do they want your group? If they don't want your group, ask them what they want. What are you looking for? Just It's a question you guys can ask. I don't know. We
It's
beat around
allowed.
the bush so much. People come in, we just start showing them our equipment and tell
Yes.
them, just stop. It's not about you. It's not about your gym. The people that are looking for equipment will shop for equipment. They'll shop to the next guy that has the cooler equipment. So you don't have to fight that fight. And if you're losing
Thinking
that
about
battle,
that.
it's because you're fighting that battle.
Right.
Don't. Yeah.
You gave the challenge to do this thought exercise with, right, for everybody listening,
Yep.
with what you already got. I would love to have you look outside of your business and
Yep.
outside of fitness completely. As you go to the next restaurant you go to, right? Think about back in the day when we all ate McDonald's blissfully unaware of what we were doing to ourselves. Understand that massive multi-billion dollar companies per year are doing exactly what we're talking about right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is why they don't just sell cheeseburgers. They sell the cheeseburger in a value meal with French fries and a drink.
Sometimes it's not even discounted. It's not even bargain. It's just
Not
together.
anymore. No way.
Yeah.
Maybe back in the day it was a value meal. It ain't
Yeah.
now. And
It's just that.
so
Those are the products I want assembled the way I want them. That's the meal I
that's
want.
it.
Can I
They
replace that
spent,
with
I guarantee,
apples? Yes. And can they do that in your gym? They should. Find a way.
that's it.
Super important. We've talked about this, and maybe we'll touch on this before we go. But I don't want to give away too much of the other stuff out there. But you've talked to quite a few franchisees out there. That is a subject that we've talked about. Like, not to get you in any trouble. I won't reveal any information. But one of the things
Right.
that they've said is with all of their online sales and all of their online, is that right now is the time where almost every business, retail or otherwise, is learning the hard lesson that people don't just want upsells. They don't just want choices. They want the choices to actually feel like they're customized to them. And now this is why this is the exercise that I'm telling you guys to do is, what do they want? What can I give them that fits their thing? Someone off the couch doesn't want to come training 4 days a week. So what can I do? How can I position this for when I talk to a person like this? Yeah, you're right. That might be a lot. If you want a little less time in the gym, here's what I got for you. Like, we need to start presenting things like this so they feel heard. And that's
Yeah.
the difference. This is why these franchises, if you're trying to order something, if you want to upsell me into some breadsticks and I don't like breadsticks, that doesn't feel like a custom offer to me if that's the only thing I see when I place my order. You want to add breadsticks? Fuck you, dude. But if it
Mhm.
feels like it's like, man, this thing's really speaking to me. I do love me some sweet barbecue boneless wing. You know what I mean? Like if that thing hits, well, that is custom made for me, theoretically. Whether it is or not doesn't matter, but it hits to the tune of what I want. And that's exactly what we want you guys to do with here. It doesn't mean do big booty boot camp stuff all the time or do the most outwardly appealing stuff. It just means when someone is in here, let's talk about really the parameters with which they're making their decision. And it's not just about trying to get fit or trying to stay home and not. It's not really what it is. It's what is in the way. What do they need moved around? What would be more ideal for them? What would just ease some of their concerns? And I promise it's usually your product offerings and how you have it presented.
Mhm. And merely just making sure people know what you offer,
Yeah,
right? If they, I mean,
yeah,
talk about the smallest babyest step, but being willing to take the next step, which is okay. Does everybody know what we have? Yes. How can I make this to where it feels custom to every single person that walks through my doors? Because
yeah,
now you are playing a game that companies that make billions are paying marketing and data analytics and research firms millions of dollars to tell them what all of you already know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think there's an opportunity here that we touch on a lot is that this now separates you from everybody else because they can't really price shop.
No.
They're just not really price shopping because they're going to compare the best option for them, not the cheapest. And the best option is going to be the one they want. So if that is involves analytics and nutrition and some accountability and maybe whatever else stuff we want to throw in, like if that checks out for everybody, I think that that is just your best path forward. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Did I lose that one in the end?
No. And the fact that every one of these things that we've talked about is applicable, whether you have a brick and mortar gym, whether you're a one-on-one personal trainer. And the fact is that this is getting sharpened right now in real time with someone that has limited coaching experience, no brick and mortar gym, is a one-on-one personal trainer, and is showing how you can take these concepts of well, you not to lose it, but it's can you do one-on-one personal training? Oh no. Well, how about you become the alpha of a group of friends and do semi?
Yeah. Which
Like,
isn't, by the way, isn't just a no. That's like, I'm going to send you off with an opportunity for both of us. So when you come back, baby birds, we all can eat. And I think that
yeah,
that's an important thing. And that, by the way, that coach we're talking to has also no sales experience. And so if you want to see the results of all of this stuff, what those numbers are, what those offers look like, how we kind of navigate them, I have a short little minute and a half video in our thing where I kind of show you visually what it looks like. If you choose this, here's how we get to it. And you can kind of see how it works. I also put some of the earning potential numbers and stuff underneath for just how it's worked for this coach in the first few months. So don't miss out on that one, guys, for sure. I think
yeah.
take this experiment, run with it, address it in your gym. You need to just run a lot of your product decision making through this filter, and I think you'll come out the other side with I think a much better connection to the things that your clients really want.
And this is what we nerd out on.
This is it.
You and
This is my
I,
bread and butter.
we love this stuff. We're building that community. Go to community.hackyourgym.com. Join
Yeah,
that community. You can join it for free and start being able to riff with these ideas because you can pay us lots of money if you want us to do it for you for free. I mean, work with you for your stuff custom.
yeah,
But you jump in that group, start throwing around some ideas and start sharing some things. I guarantee you, you're going to coax us into the group to start dropping some stuff in there
hmm
because it's,
yeah,
I can't help myself.
yeah. So get in there, get on board. There's a ton of value in there for you. If you do want to get down and get the full experience of the course, maybe you're apprehensive about spending right away. Feel free to shoot us a message. Is it the dudes at hackyourgym.com?
The
The
dudes.
dudes at
at hackyourgym.com.
hackyourgym.com. It's the easiest. I don't know if John or Tyler, those all exist too. If you email us at the dudes at hackyourgym.com with any questions, concerns, or if you're wondering about getting the course, maybe you don't want to pull the trigger. If it's about timing, it's about money, it's about what's really in the course, what's not, how it's going to help you. Shoot us questions. I'll gladly answer those questions for you personally so we can get you up and running. So
Yep.
we want to let you know if you want to get in on this and you can start doing this, you can make big money. We hadn't even made these claims on the podcast yet, but we have one of our gym hackers has already pulled small gym, has already only had 2 sales,
3 sales.
3 sales, 3 sales opportunities,
Yes.
closed all of them, made their
Mhm.
money back made their money back plus $1,000 by the second sale,
And they
now
just
it's
closed
basically
another
tripled their money.
$700 deal. Yeah.
So it's now tripled their investment on this course with 3 sales opportunities. Now we have a 100% closure rate. Everybody's closing at much higher prices. Clients are happy. They're not getting into some wild kind of like complicated intake system before. And now it's just a system that works best for the gym and the clients. It's easy. They didn't have to reinvent the wheel. They didn't have to flip the whole business on its head. They didn't have to do anything different or anything more. Yeah, get on board, guys.
They
It's
added
easier than
nothing new.
Nothing
It's
new.
all the stuff they already had. And that's what
Yeah.
I'm most proud of.
Yeah, definitely. And we got more success stories out there. So if you want to get in the group, community.hackyourgym.com, you can follow me at Tyler F. and Stone on Instagram. Follow John
at J Banks FL.
Follow Gym Owners Podcast on Instagram and join the Facebook group. I think we got all the plugs out there.
Adios.
All right.